Okay. So because I had to balance being a nurse, being having my family, you know, and also baking, having a business, it was a lot. So I'm gonna be honest with you. In the beginning, I took everything. Like, okay, so I started by because I didn't have any clients, so nobody knew me for baking, anything like that. So I just knew what tastes good to me. So I started baking that way. I went on YouTube also, YouTube University. That's how I came. I didn't go for school. I didn't go to school for this. You know, everything was off of YouTube. So then I started to come up with my own creations as far as getting different recipes, putting it together, trial and error, what tastes good to me, all these things. So then I started to give give samples to like my coworkers, family, friends. And then I remember my first cake I did for my sister-in-law at the time. And that was the first time I've ever displayed something. And that's when they were like, oh, this is good. Who did the cake? You know? So I was like, okay, I got something here. I got something here. So from there, I started getting some orders. And the thing about it is I took every single order. And that's where I messed up. So I'm doing my business, I have my home life, and then I'm taking every single order. And I was cheap. So of course everybody wants a cheap cake, right? So it was ridiculously cheap. I'm talking about two-tier cakes for, I'm embarrassed to say, for like $20, $40, okay? But I was learning. So in the beginning, I I felt like I just had to get out there and lose in order to gain. So in the beginning, it was hell, pure hell. Okay. But it made me stronger, I feel. It definitely made me stronger. But from that time, for years, I just kept taking on orders. And when I did that, it did improve my skills in baking. It did. I got more supplies. It was to the point where I didn't have to look at tutorials anymore. I just knew what to do. And it started to become natural. But then what ended up happening was I put so much on myself that I started to not enjoy it anymore. It was more like a task, like something that I didn't care to do anymore because it was work, hard work, you know? So from there, it was like kind of like a downhill for me mentally, a downhill for me. So what I ended up doing was it was so much in the baking that even in my personal life, my job, I ended up quitting my job because it was a lot. Then I ended up quitting the baking because it was a lot. Ooh, things that I wish I knew. I wish that I knew how to create boundaries for myself because I put so much, I tried so hard to satisfy every single order and what the people wanted that I neglected myself. So when I did that, it just created hell in my life, you know? And that is something that I wish I knew from the beginning. Just setting those boundaries and saying, hey, instead of taking, 15 to 20 cakes a week, take no more than five, take no more than three, have time to relax, have time to unwind, focus on myself. Then the business comes, next. So that's one of the main things that I wish that I knew. And that walking is another thing that helps me because during that time, I don't have to think as much. I can just focus on the nature around me and, things as, it just doesn't require work. So I get to focus and just relax and unwind. So that, or just, getting your hair, I'm a girl. So, I'm a woman, hair done, nails done, these things, are just focusing, massages, walking. And I'm spiritual as well. So praying, meditating, those type of things helps me to unwind. I think that it makes makers want to walk, you said?
overwhelm themselves.
Oh, oh yes, for sure. For sure. And I think it goes back to what I was saying, where sometimes we want to satisfy everyone and we want to take every single order to the point where it's to our detriment. Like we're getting hurt because we're not, having time for ourselves. So, and then another thing is sometimes you you're trying to pay the bills, you don't have enough money, you need the orders, so you just take everything. But at the end of the day, sometimes you have to really think about it, and instead of taking everything, you got to increase the price. You just have to eat there. It's a business, you have to increase the price. But I feel like as a home baker, sometimes we're afraid to do that because it's from home, and people may say, "Oh, you don't even have your own, storefront. Why are you charging this much?" But it's something you have to do. It's still a business.
Okay. So how do you stay motivated when you face with challenging tasks?
How I stay motivated is by thinking of where I came from, um, and just wanting to. I just want to do something for myself. Like I listen to a lot of positive podcasts, right? So I feel like if you surround yourself around positivity, it comes back to you in your life. So if I surround myself around negativity, obviously I'm not going to be successful. I'm not going to have the things that I want. It's negative things. People, the people that I surround myself around, if they're motivating me, if they're uplifting me, encouraging me, that helps me to become the best me possible. So things like that, and also praying, asking God to, help me through my journey, because I want Him to be the main focus, and I want Him to lead me through everything that I do. So those things like helps motivate me and keeps me grounded, as I go, and just basically me proving something to myself, knowing that, I can do this. Because before I never thought I could, but now that I'm walking in it, I know I can do it. I have the encouragement around me, my family, they're motivating me, encouraging me, my friends. So it just brings me to a certain. It's what motivates me. So as long as I stay surrounded around it, the energy, it comes back to me. So that's what basically helps me through that. So, just a little backstory. From the time that I told you, I ended up quitting my nursing job and quitting the bakery. At that time, I said, I was just, I felt like I was about to lose my mind. Seriously, I felt like I was about to lose my mind. So then what I did was I started doing travel nursing. So when I went away, I felt like I had just so much going on. At the time, it was not intentional. I think subconsciously I was just getting away from everything, you know? So I did travel nursing for 2 years. So during that time, I was by myself. So I was alone a lot in my thoughts. And during that time, that's when I said, I must create boundaries for myself. Because if I don't, then I will literally lose my mind. So when I came back, what I did with the business is I said, I'm not going to take any more than 3 to 5 cakes a week, period. I don't care what's going on. I don't care who's asking me. 3 to 5. That's it. I did that. I also do not work on the weekends. So as a baker, as you know, our the weekends are the busiest times because that's when the parties are. That's when weddings, all those things. So what I did was, okay, so Mondays I bake, Tuesdays I put the filling, which is also torting. Wednesdays, I start to decorate, and Thursdays. Friday is pickup. Saturday and Sunday, I'm off. So when I
Wow.
created that balance for me, now I'm good. I have time for my family. I have time for myself. I have time to unwind. I still work as a nurse, and I'm off on because the I'm an infusion nurse, so I get to pick my hours. So I also chose a job where I can still have flexibility. So now I'm in control of my life. I'm in control of every single aspect, and I say when I'm going to do something. Period. You know, and once I did that, that's it. So basically, for social media, I feel like being seen is what helps you in the business. For instance, okay, so I used to be afraid to, post my things online, show my face, because I was just so scared, all these things. But then I said, you know what? Why am I afraid? This is my business. This is my brand. This is who I am. So whatever I put out there is representing me. So instead of thinking about it as, oh, who cares? I mean, thinking about what people cared about, it was more about what I wanted to represent out there, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the clientele, my bakery is, I would say, 99.5% word of mouth, right? So when they taste the product, when they see the product, they want to come back, period. And I'm not boasting or anything, but it's good. It's good. I mean, and the amount of people that continue to come back to me, I have reoccurring clients for years. I've done clients, their birthdays, their kids' cakes, their weddings. I've literally done like a lot of the major experiences in their life. So I feel like just by being yourself, it doesn't matter if you're a home baker. If you just be yourself and show your clients that you actually care, that's all they want. You're it's like you're kind of a part of the family, you know? So now I just got to the point where I want to begin being on social media and just expanding that way. Not really for just the clientele, but just the brand, just getting my brand out there because I want to eventually teach. I want to teach. So it's not mainly about just, oh, I want to put my stuff on social media because I want more people to buy my cakes. That's not what I'm doing it for. At this point, I want to teach because the clientele is there. And like I said, if the if it's good, usually not saying for everyone, and I don't want to say that on here to say, oh, if your stuff is good, everybody's going to be running. I'm not saying that, okay? I'm making it very clear. I'm making it very clear, okay? But for my experience, and maybe it's just God is over my business. He has blessed it from the beginning till now, But yeah, that's basically it. Okay, so this goes into my personal life because so in my religion, I'm Seventh Adventist, okay? So on Saturdays, we're not supposed to work, right? That's like a part of our. So even when I was younger, when I was a teenager, whenever, we're not supposed to work on Saturday. So it's supposed to be our day of rest. So you see how you know Chick-fil-A? You ever heard of Chick-fil-A? So with Chick-fil-A, they don't work on Sundays.
Mm.
Well, for me, I don't work on Saturday. So my business is closed. It doesn't matter if there's a wedding or anything for me to deliver. It's closed.
No.
So that is closed. So that helps me to prioritize my time. Because so even though people say, "Oh my gosh, it's Saturday," that's one of the times where you get the most clientele. Everybody's, "Oh my gosh, you're going to lose so much money." That's not how I see it. And it actually helps me because it gives me the time to myself. You know what I'm saying? So that's my day. That's our day of worship, and it allows me to unwind and decompress. So it also goes back to what I tell you that my weekends are off. So that's basically how I prioritize my time, and also, like I said, mentioned before, with the not putting so much on myself throughout the week by accepting every single cake order that comes my way. You just can't manage. It's too much. You have to take time for yourself to decompress. You're gonna go crazy. You're gonna lose your mind. You have to take the time for yourself. Yeah, couple. Oh, I have some stories, especially since I'm starting out. I started not knowing what I was doing. Oh, I have so many stories. One
What was
story, one story was I accidentally dropped a wedding cake. I dropped a wedding cake, and I was riding in my car, and the top part, because it was not connected all the way, I hit a bump, and the whole top just it fell. Now the thing that saved me, what saved me was it was a fake tear. Thank God it was a fake tear. So when I went to the venue, um, they were trying to help me with the cake. And I said, no, 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 because I was so embarrassed because it looked terrible. So they're like, oh, let me try to help you move it. I said, no, 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 it's okay. I got it. I got it. I got it. So when I held it, I was holding it a certain way, trying to cover up the flaws, everything. So then when I got there, thank goodness. And this is what every single baker needs. You must have supplies in your car. I had a big box full of flowers. And what I did was, this wasn't the design that she asked for exactly, but I had no choice. It's either you see the messed up cake or I cover it up with flowers. So it's like, which one do you want? So yeah, I ended up covering the cake. And honestly, it was one of the best cakes I've ever done. And you know what? I'm gonna post it on social media. I'm gonna do a story time and I'm gonna post it on social media because I covered up the flaws in the back and no one ever knew. Even the bride, she never knew. She called me afterwards and she thanked me. Oh, we love the cake. Oh, this it was beautiful. And I did not tell her.
you
I did.
you you
I
you
didn't
are,
tell
you
her.
are like you are like if you knew what happened, if you knew.
If you only knew the truth. But I'm gonna tell, before I post that story, I have to tell her. I don't want to just, let her see online. And she's gonna be like, hold on, that's my case. So, so I'm gonna tell her before I do it. But yes, I have so many stories. My biggest goal. You know what? That's an ongoing thing. Um, And because I'm doing this with God leading me, it's one of those situations where wherever He takes me, that's where I am. But in my mind, my plan is to be a YouTuber that teaches how beginning baking and how to master it. That's in my mind right now. That's how I see it. Maybe later on, maybe I can have like some type of product that that I'm selling, like cake mix or something like that. But right now, I just want to teach. That's the main thing, because in the beginning when I was trying to learn how to do it, there were a lot of there were some videos that were not going into detail on the things that I needed, you know? And I feel like I just want to be that person that any question you have, I got it. you know. And like I said, I learned from experience, not by going to school and them teaching me. I learned by actually in the grind, in the kitchen, learning how to put this together, trial and error, the cake falling on me, the cake melting. I have it down to the point where I can say, hey, this is what you have to do so this cake will not fall. This is what you have to do so that the cake is moist. This is what you have to do, blah blah blah. You understand what I mean? So I just want to be that baker that I can teach and you will learn from me, especially as a beginning baker. I just want to be that person. Yeah, for sure. And, that just goes back to what I was saying. You just being yourself, just being your authentic self. People just love seeing people who are genuine and enjoy what they do, and that hits people differently in different communities. Once you go on social media and then if they're scrolling through and then they see, oh, okay, this person looks vibrant, this person, and even if they didn't stop the first time, maybe if they continue, especially if it's in their area, maybe if they continue seeing it, they would say, you know what, let me stop and see what this person is about. And just seeing their aura, seeing their vibe, they might say, I like this. This is genuine. I like this. You know what? Let me follow. And then eventually that could turn into something else. And then they just end up, getting a cake from you because in their minds, you got Publix, you got all these places. But then if you want that custom, they'll say, you know what? I had that person that I saw online. Let me stop and go order. Let me see the prices on, and then that opens the door from there. So that is a way that it opens up, in your own community. Okay, so with bad clients, I don't know. I feel like sometimes you can just tell from the first text if this person is going to be a problem. I promise you. Usually from the first text, it's like you just get an aura, a vibe, like, okay, this is going to be a problem. This is going to be a problem. So, but you can't just say, you got to at least give them a chance. But I have had clients that, but this is a majority of them, chef's kiss, love my clients. But there are a couple in there that. So I'm trying to think like of an example that I can give you. I had a time when a client tried to, she told me that she did not want a cake anymore. And then the date, it was very clear she didn't want the cake anymore. She said, I want to cancel the cake. I confirmed on the text and I said, are you sure? Okay, so you don't want this cake anymore for this date. She said, no, I don't want it anymore. Fine. I took it off my schedule. The day before, she messaged me and said, hey, is the cake ready? No, your cake is not ready because you canceled the cake. I had to screenshot what she said. Oh, she said, that wasn't me. I said, well, I don't know who took your phone and messaged me to say that they didn't want the cake anymore, but I'm sorry, I cannot provide the service for you. Just stuff like that, like clients that try to win over on you or last minute things they want to add to it. And I have no problem adding things last minute, but it depends on what it is. If it's something that I have to rush to the store to do or whatever, or sometimes you have to spend more money on it. I have to tell you, well, if you want this, it's going to be an additional $20 or whatever. And if you say, oh no, I don't want to do it, well, okay, well, you're going to get the cake the way it is. It's a business. It's a business. And just because it's home baking, you're not going to go to Publix and at the last minute tell them, or a major, cake store that has a brick and mortar. You're not going to tell them last minute those things. They're going to tell you no. So the same way they're going to tell you no, the home baker is going to tell you. It just depends on the person. But I'm at a place now. I'm just at a place now where this is my business. This is what I represent. This is what I can do for you. This is what the order was. And that's it. I set my accomplishments and milestones as a baker. Hmm. So I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a procrastinator. And I don't write down a lot of things. I'm going to be honest with you, okay? So all of that is in my mind, and it's terrible. I'm not telling anyone to do this, but it's
I
all
will
in
do
my mind.
it. I will do it. I will do it. Hmm.
It's all in my mind. It's all I just remember what happened then, and then I switch it up later. And like I said, I need to start doing that. I need to start writing it down. But I am changing a little bit. I do like the goal boards, the vision boards, and then I state like what I want and those things. And then I look back and try to see, okay, did I accomplish this? And honestly, I have, accomplished some of those things. So, but do I have like something where I always go and write it down? I'm gonna be honest. I gotta work on that. Okay, so home Okay, so we have certain like grocery stores that have pretty good, decent cakes. You know, the taste is good. I mean, it's not home bakery taste, but the taste is good. But in Florida, and I think this is in the US period, home bakers are on a rise because of the custom. You can make whatever type of cake with home bakers. It's custom. Those
Awesome.
stores doesn't they don't do all of that. They just, do the regular piping. You got the little heart cakes, but it's nothing where I can say, hey, I want you to make this house for my nephew who just built a house and this is the custom. You can't do that with those. So it's very popular in the States. Um, Home bakers are very popular. And I feel like with certain people though, they they do respect them, but then there's others that say, oh, I could get that from Publix and I can get that from this place and that place, but are you going to get it custom the way that you want? No. So I feel like we do have a pretty good reputation overall, but then you have those people that just, because of the price, they don't want to pay it because we're home, you know? But the work that we put into it, we have to charge it. We have to, you know? But overall, I think we have a pretty decent reputation. And if you're good, they like your work, they like your personality, it comes with the whole package. If they like it all, they will keep you as their cake. So we call it a cake lady or a cake, that's the cake, my cake person. So I'm some people's cake lady, because I may bring the whole package, the look, the taste, the energy. I'm nice to you. If you ask for something, because like I said, I was mentioning before that if you ask a day before, I'm not going to do, that's not necessarily the case with every single thing. So if you're a client of mine that I've been with for years and you ask me to put a little additional something, I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to do it for you because you've been with me. You're like family. You've been with me for a while. So I feel like once you have those type of relationships and people hear about that over and over, they want to have, the cake lady or this and that. And they don't want to go to Publix anymore. So, because I've had clients that tell me like, oh no, I don't want to go to Publix. I want to go to you. So, and I don't know if obviously you guys don't have Publix over there. I don't know what your main, what the main store is where you can get cakes or anything. But in Florida, it's Publix is one of them. That's why I keep referring to it on social media. I have certain people that are doing the same exact thing I'm doing, and they're the only ones that can truly understand what it means to be a home baker. I can tell, people like, oh, this is the situation I went through, like a friend, I can tell them, but until you're actually in it and doing it, you won't fully understand what I'm talking about. So online, I have a community of bakers that we discuss things. If there's something that I see that they have on their cake, I'll ask them I'll DM them, ask, hey, where did you get this from? They'll let me know. There's certain techniques that they may do. Hey, how did you do the technique? How do you do it? They'll post something online just to show it. So that building that community online is huge I think it's anything. It doesn't have to be just baking, it's anything. But that community, it helps you out. So, my main advice is putting yourself before your business. If you do not put yourself first, your business will crash. It will crash, or you're going to just not like it anymore and quit. So, you must prioritize yourself, create boundaries for yourself. Don't accept every single cake order. Don't do it because you're going to get tired. And you must also make sure that do things such as things that you enjoy in the meantime. So you create time in the day. If you say, hey, I'm going to be working on cakes from, let's say, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, Monday through Thursday. That's my time. The rest of the time, do what you have to do. But if you say that I'm going to accept every single cake order, 10, 20 cake orders, and you're working 9 to 5 from Monday through Thursday, there's no way you can do that. You're going to do it on Friday. You're going to do it on Saturday. You're going to do it you're going to continue to do it, and you're going to lose your mind. Please prioritize yourself. That's one of the main things, like I said, because it happened to me, and it changed my life once I prioritized myself before I let my work speak for itself. Sometimes, but now I let my work speak for itself.
So
Because I
that's it.
gave so many freebies in the beginning. I gave so many freebies in the beginning. I just can't anymore. Publix does, these stores are not giving freebies. So why should I? I'm sorry. First time on live, even on my page, I've never. So I was very nervous, but I said, you know what? It goes back to what I also said. Just be yourself, be genuine. This is my personality. This is me. Just be yourself. So this is me. Oh, I love it. I just love the fact that you guys give a platform for us to, and it doesn't matter your followers or anything. When I started following you guys, because I've been following you guys for a while, I've noticed that you guys have all types of bakers that you guys do interviews for, and it's not just the people that like, oh, they've made it. No, everyone, because everyone is in different experiences in the baking world, and we have to see all of it. So it's like we get to learn from all of the interviews, and we get to learn off of each other. So it's a beautiful thing. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you for allowing me to be on your show today. I would love to do it again. You guys you're awesome.